welcome to my YouTube channel, Sewing in Switzerland. Today I'm here with 2 out of 3 pugs. The other pug is with my husband watching reruns of Scandal. She loves the TV, so I'm afraid we're down to two today. So today what I wanted to talk about is something very exciting. I've mentioned actually in a couple of videos now in the indie patterns versus the big four and some new indie pattern release videos that the Simplicity conglomerate with the big four or the big seven rather under that name had released a load of new patterns, and unfortunately they weren't available in PDF. So if you were outside of the US or outside of the UK, they were really difficult to get hold of actually. Well, a very lovely, kind person messaged me to say that the Know Me brand, which is the new brand of patterns that has been released, has just released their patterns in PDF format. So these have been around for maybe 6-7 months or so, but not in PDF format. And I've mentioned a couple of times that I was a little bit upset, a bit salty, because I really wanted to make them and I just wasn't able to get hold of a pattern. So today we're looking at the Know Me, which is the new brand of patterns under the Simplicity conglomerate. Try saying that fast. Simplicity conglomerate. And I've lost my train of thought. It's very, very hot here. So yeah, the Know Me, it's by Mimi G, the brand, and it's basically bridging the gap between indie pattern designers and the big four, and kind of bringing the indie pattern designers into the fold. And I'm not really talking about established indie companies here. I'm talking about how would I put it? I'm talking about really individual indie pattern designers. So not companies, not So House 7, not Helen's Closet, etc, etc, not the big ones. It's individual smaller indie pattern designers that have been brought into the fold, which is really cool because we're seeing a lot more new patterns from new designers, so we're able to get to know them on a more personal level, and it's just really cool. Like, I appreciate more pattern designers coming into the community, and you know, more patterns is never a bad thing, let's be honest. So I'm all for it personally. So let's have a look. Oh, I just wanted to mention the tagline of the Know Me brand actually, because I thought it was a really great way to sum it up. And they basically said, trendy styles designed solely by makers in the sewing community. So these pattern designers, some of them don't actually own a pattern company or a design company. They are just individuals that are well known within the sewing community that have now branched out into pattern design, which I think is really cool. I think that's really fun. So let's talk about some of the patterns. We've got 36 pattern releases in total. And of that, there is menswear and women's wear. 25 of the patterns are women's wear. And I say, do you know, I don't really believe in gendered sewing patterns. So they're actually advertised. They're advertised with 3 genders on the Simplicity website. Okay, we've got menswear, dresses and coordinates. So they're the 3 genders that we're going by on the Simplicity website now. So yeah, I'm not huge on gendered sewing. I think no matter what you identify as, you can wear whatever you want. I don't believe that you should only wear XYZ because it is specifically for a certain type of person. I think that's a little bit nonsensical. So I'm saying women's wear very loosely in the regard that what we're going to be talking about today is the women's wear. So it is patterns that are predominantly designed by women, and their cover of the pattern is worn by women. So that said, if you're someone who identifies as a man and or non-binary and thinks I want to make this, you know, I don't want to mistakenly mislabel anybody, so that's why I wanted to draw attention to it. So yeah, 25's women's wear patterns, and I think that we're going to get started. We're going to look at a handful of them today, actually. So I've got 7 or 8 of my favorites, and I've tried to include one of every new designer. So roughly each designer that has come out with these patterns has 1 or 2 patterns. So I've made sure, like minimum, so I've made sure that we've included everybody there. So let's get started with the first pattern. Let's take a bit of a deep dive and have a look at them. Okay, so the first one I'm just going to run through really quickly because I have actually mentioned it before in the new indie pattern releases video that I made a few weeks ago, I believe. So this one is ME2033. You'll have to excuse me, I do have some notes here because I cannot keep all the information in my head. So this one is made by Ella and her Instagram handle, and I'll put all of everyone's Instagram handles and information in the description so you can find them, follow them, reach out to them, check out their patterns and whatnot. So the first one is made by a person called Ella, and she has her Instagram account. Her Instagram account is Handmade Millennial on Instagram. I'm going by Instagram here as opposed to other social media channels. And this one is like a cord set. So you've got this amazing kind of crop top and trouser set. The trouser's like an elasticated back, and you can make it in shorts or you can make it full length. And they've got this amazing kind of 2-tone wave pattern, so you can go crazy with the color blocking. It would look amazing. And my favorite thing about this pattern is that you can make it in wovens or in knits, so you can actually get like a sweatshirt style tracksuit going on. I think it's so fun. I think it's so fun that you can make a casual one, you can make a dressed up one. It's great. I'm a huge fan. This is my favorite one. This is the one that I really wanted to make but wasn't able to because I couldn't get my hands on a pattern. So this is the first on my list. It's my absolute favorite. Size wise, they're all around the same sizing because they're all under this one brand. So this sizing goes from EU sizes 34 to 52. However, there are a couple on there that start at a 36 and go through to a 64. So I'll call those ones out if they're slightly different sizing. So this one is just the EU 34 to 52. So I do talk about this one in a little bit more depth on the other video, but that's about the gist of it. You've got like a tank top that you can either wear as cropped or slightly longer. You can add cap sleeves to it. It's gorgeous. It's really, really gorgeous. So I'm going to move on to the next one now. So this next one is code ME2022. And it's by someone called Nefertiti, and their Instagram handle is the Corny Rainbow? Yeah, the Corny Rainbow, which is a cool name. So this one I absolutely love, which is very unusual for me because it's not something that I would traditionally wear. I tend to go for looser garments, and as someone who has quite big coconuts, I tend to not really wear lower cut items just because it's more comfortable for myself. However, having seen this crop top, this whole outfit is so stunning that it's next on my list because I desperately want to make it. I think it's just beautiful. I think she looks beautiful in it. I really want to have a go. So you've got this fantastic crop top with this cutout detailing, and you've got kind of optional sleeves here with these incredible flounces, and then you've got this skirt that you could either make with like an asymmetric look with a ruffle, or you could make it full length with like tiered ruffles going down. I just think it's incredible. I think it's absolutely stunning. Really stunning. And it doesn't look too difficult to make either, looking at it. Like, I think a beginner could give that a go whilst following a sew along. Absolutely. So that's my next favorite one. I think it's gorgeous. I think it's perfect for summer. So this one has the same sizing as the last one. It is EU 34 to EU 50, 2, I think I said. So that's the second one. Let's move on to number 3. I know I said that I was only going to feature one pattern from each designer, but when I saw this I could not include it. So this is the Corny Rainbow Nefertiti's design again. So I couldn't leave it out. It's just stunning, absolutely stunning. So this is like a tuxedo style dress, and it's got different lengths, and it's got this amazing like princess seams, and then you've got these kind of gathers that come around the hip area here, and just this beautiful collar, and it comes in different lengths, and it's just fantastic. And do you know, I think if you were going to give I say coat making, I mean the tuxedo style, you know, with the breasted collar for instance, and the buttons, I think if you were going to give that a go, here would be a good place to start. It doesn't look as difficult as a standard kind of tuxedo or a blazer or a coat pattern that would follow those more traditional sewing techniques. It does look mildly easier, so it might be a good place to start if that's something that you're thinking of doing. So yeah, it's absolutely stunning, and the code was, I can't remember if I gave the code, it's ME2006, and again comes in the same size range, so EU 34 to EU 52, I believe I said. I'll double check. I'll put all this information in the description as well, so if I can't retain it all in my head, just double check the description and it'll all be correct in there, okay? So yeah, I think that's beautiful. I think that would be a really good transition piece in like a gorgeous kind of rusty colour for heading into autumn actually. So yeah, that's on my list. My list is getting pretty long now, but it's definitely on there. So let's move on and take a look at the next one. In between takes, I'm afraid the dog has melted. So yeah, we'll just have to let him melt where he is. So this next one, I'll just double check the code, is ME2021, and this is by a new designer called Gwen Heng, and her Instagram is, I believe, Gwen Stella Made. Again, I'll put it all in the description, don't worry. So this dress is very mod looking. It's kind of screaming 60s, early 70s at me. It's got bishop sleeves, or you could actually make it with flared sleeves. There's bows. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous shape. You've got the princess seams, and you've got bows. Like in one of the photos, the bow's on the front, and in another of the photos, the bow is on the back. So fantastic looking pattern, absolutely gorgeous. Again, that would be another really great one. I know these are possibly designed to be more summer-based patterns, but I think this would be amazing heading into autumn. In like a check fabric or something, I don't know, with some boots. I think it would look gorgeous. So again, the sizing is the exact same. It's EU 34 to 52, and let's take a look at the next one. I'm afraid in the interim we have lost another dog. Another dog has been taken in by my husband in Scandal reruns, so we're down to one now. We're down to baby bear here. So the next one is a design by Marsha, gosh, do I have her surname here? Marsha Spencer, under the design name Kichi B Style. And this one, I actually read the description before I saw the pattern, and I saw that it was, you know, cargo style. You had the epaulets, you had the cargo style pockets on like a wrap dress, and I remember thinking, is this gonna work? Like, how? I couldn't picture it in my mind, and then I saw it and I was blown away. It works so well. It is so stunning. The color blocked version, or the version with the short sleeves, and then you've got like the chest pockets, and then also like the, I want to say like body pockets. They're kind of not real hip, they're somewhere in the middle. They're just absolutely gorgeous, and it was just a real new kind of colourful, playful take on something slightly utilitarian, and I just love it. I'm in love. I think it's stunning. I think it's really, really well done as well. And okay, you heard it here first. I honestly think that utilitarian looks are going to be making their way back in. You know how fashion runs in cycles anyway. But I've seen a couple of things, and if you would like, I'm not sure I'm allowed to do this, but here is a tiny sneak peek. I'm actually on the maker team for the Talco magazine. So I have a pattern in advance, and then I make it, and then it gets, the images get released as part of the magazine release date. So I'm working on something, a new pattern that's going to come out in the next issue. And that is very, very utilitarian. It's got this gorgeous crossover, and it's just absolutely stunning. So I think that utilitarian wear is actually coming back round. So you heard it here first, okay? So when you start seeing it in, you know, all the high street stores, you can say, Sam called it. So yeah, size wise, exactly the same on this one. The 34 to 52 EU sizing. And yeah, it's also in wovens, that's worth mentioning. You can't really tell in the photo, but it is woven, it's not knit. So let's move on to the next one. This next one is ME2028 and is by indie designer Veronica Cole, who's on Instagram under Needle and the Bell. This one is a co-ord, so you get like essentially double bang for your buck. It's a crop top with or without straps, they're optional. It's fully lined, and then you've got these kind of gorgeous shorts or like wide leg trousers. This one I would cautiously step into if you're a beginner, because it does have a fly front zipper, which isn't ordinarily one of the first things that you would learn. It's definitely doable if you're following a tutorial or a sew along, or you're a visual learner, so you see things and then are able to recreate them, then maybe, yeah. But I would tiptoe into this one if you're a beginner. So this is for wovens only, and it does have a slightly different sizing structure. So it starts from EU 42 and goes up to EU 64, I believe. So if you're on the smaller end of that scale, it might be a little bit difficult to get that to fit. So let's move on to the next one. This next one is ME2032. It's really hard for me to keep all of the details in my head all of the time. So this one is by the Stitch Fits, and I believe her name is Lindsay. And it's this beautiful dress. It's got two length options. The shorter option has 2 slits, and the longer option has kind of a knee-high slit. It's quite fitted, the bodice is fully lined, and when I first saw it, I thought, oh my goodness, the fashion's come back around again, because doesn't this look exactly like a dress that Rachel Green, I think her name is, from Friends would have worn? Like, it's definitely late 90s, early noughties. I'm sure I had some of these back in the day. So it's really nice to see actually that it's coming back around. I think it's beautiful. It's a beautiful dress. Would definitely wear it. I think you could wear a casual version. I think that something like a nice seersucker would make a really good casual version, or something a bit kind of slinky for dressing up or for an event, or just, you know what, I say dressing up, but wear the clothes, you know, you don't need an occasion or a reason to wear something. So yeah, wear all of the clothes. So yeah, something slinky would look great. A type of satin perhaps would look gorgeous. So yeah, that's that one. Stunning, huge fan. Let's have a look at the next one. This next one is ME2034, and this is by Butte J'adore, and I think I've got her name here. Nikki Brooks is the designer behind that, Butte J'adore, and it's a phenomenal piece of design. It is just stunning. Like, the level of work that has gone into this like jacket dress is just incredible. If you're in the sewing community on Instagram, then you'll possibly be aware of a person named, or with the handle Sleepless in Bavaria, and she's kind of basically queen of jackets and tailoring and looks fantastic all the time. And I'm going to send her this one because I think she would make a version of this that is just so out of this world. It's really stunning. So you've got this fully lined double breasted jacket dress. So it's got the collar, the lapel, it's got welt breast pockets and then 3 extra welt pockets. It's got front darts, it's got back darts, it's got the whole shebang, okay? It is just, it's fantastic. It really is fantastic. If you are a beginner, do not make this your first dress. Do not make this your first jacket. It's, I would argue it says average for, you know, sewing recommendations or sewing skill recommendation, but I would say this was definitely more advanced, especially when it comes to making welt pockets where you have to physically cut into the fabric of the piece. So I would cautiously make this one as long as you've got some other projects under your belt. I wouldn't go into this one as a beginner, but it is beautiful. It is definitely worth putting on everybody's list. And again, I don't know if I'm just wishing summer away, but could you imagine it in autumn in like a check or like a rusty red or like a deep orange, you know? Oh, stunning, stunning. Okay, so let's take a look at the next one. So this next one is ME2013 and it's by a designer called Brittany Jones. And this one is great, you know. I think it's one of the first knits that we've got in this collection. I genuinely don't think that we've got enough knits in this release. I would have liked to have seen more. I'm a huge fan of knitwear or sewing with jersey. So I'm really glad that we've got some knits, but I definitely don't think it's enough. But I think I'm just being greedy because I would like it all at once, please. So this one is gorgeous. You've got 2 types of different tops. They're like crop tops, one with a cap sleeve, one with like a tank, you know, sleeveless. And then you've got this high-waisted knit skirt with this asymmetric kind of button detailing down the side, which again, you've got 2 lengths. You've got a longer length and you've got a shorter length, a little slit in it. It's gorgeous. It's relaxed. It's chilled. You could dress it up. It could be workwear if you're working in an office. It could be brunch wear if you're chilling. It could be resort wear. It's great. It's gorgeous. I love it. Huge fan. Big fan. And also knowing sewing with knits is often portrayed as something that's a bit tricky, but it's not. I love sewing with knits. And if you've been told, you know, sewing with jersey fabrics is difficult, I'm here to poo-poo that. It is not. It's not at all. As long as you kind of know the basics or like what stitch length or what stitch to stitch with, then you're fine. You're absolutely fine. And I've made a couple of tutorials on sewing with knitwear and it's golden. It's not difficult, I promise you. I promise you. Okay, so I definitely think you could give this one a go if you're on the beginner end of the scale. So this one has slightly different sizing. So the sizing is EU 36 and then it goes up to EU 64. So it has a wider range of sizing there for you. So yeah, absolutely stunning. That's on my list. My list is getting really long at this point. So let's move on and look at the next one. So this next one is by Joanna M. Chandler and the code is ME2014. To get really close, I can't wear my glasses with the ring light when I'm recording, so I have to get like super close to the paper. So you'll have to, you know, forgive me for that. So this one is fantastic. There is a lot of options here. We've got a dress with this really fun cutout piece. You've got this kind of horseshoe neckline, they've called it, I believe. Or you've got the option of like Bermuda shorts and like a crop top, and the top half of the top and also the top half of the dress is secured with like a zipper. And then on the bottom half of the dress, you've got a zipper there. And you've got these kind of almost like, again, utilitarian-like pockets. And again, with the shorts, you've got these kind of oversized pockets on the inside, and combined with the cutout at the front and the cutout at the back, it is really cool. it is a bit different, and it's nice to see something that isn't completely samey all the time. And there's a lot of techniques that can be learned with this one. The actual top version and the top of the dress includes boning. So if you wanted to learn how to put zippers in and boning and, you know, cut out pieces, this would be a great one, because it's a lot of techniques that you could learn from one pattern. So you get a lot of learning skills from this one. So I think that's really fun, really great. So let's take a look at the next one. Okay, we got cut off there, unfortunately. The battery ran out. So, you know, I had to take a minute, have a coffee and recharge. So I appreciate you sticking with me through the chaos. If you're a chaotic sewer out there, I see you, I appreciate you. So we've got two more to get through. This next one is ME2003, and the design company is called Alyssa's Threads, and the person behind it is Alyssa Ashton. And this is another knit one, and like I said, there's not enough knits, so I'm really happy to see this. So this is fun. It's a, bless you, it's a 2-length knit skirt. It's super easy. It's just got this like elasticated waistband. It's got this great slit up the side. And the fun thing about sewing with knits and jerseys is they don't fray, so you don't actually have to finish them. You can just kind of put the slit in, put the ends in and go. And as long as nobody's too close, they wouldn't notice. And also, who cares? I'm not going to tell anyone if you do not finish your edges on your knit fabrics. So it's a super fun one. Again, very 90s, very 90s with that, you know, side slit. It's fun to see that coming back. I think it's really cool. And the other, it's a co-ord. So again, you get two patterns for one price, which I'm always a really big fan of. My dog's got a little bit of hay fever. Bless you. Okay, good. Stealing the show, I see. So the next one in the pattern that's included is this cardigan. And this is really cool because, do you know, I don't think that there's enough cardigan patterns out there, like genuinely, and not fun ones anyway. You know, you've got the Marlon sweater, and there's a couple of other indie cardigan patterns, but you don't really see this kind of fun 90s shape like this one. So it's kind of got this like v-neck here, and then it's got this fun like flounce collar almost that goes around the top bit there, and then it's a button down. So it's super fun. It's again very 90s. I think it's really cool. So this one is gorgeous, but the sizing is limited. This only comes in a size small, I believe. Yeah, small to XXL. So again, very limited sizing there. I would say this is definitely beginner friendly. The skirt especially, extremely beginner friendly. So if that's something that you would like to make and you've only got a couple of projects under your belt, that would be a really good one. So last but not least, let's look at the next one. Okay, so this is our last one today. It's ME2031, and it's by pattern designer Lydia Naomi. So I would say Lydia Naomi is more of an established pattern designer. She has her own company and a lot of sewing patterns under her belt in comparison to the others that we have maybe seen today who have perhaps a smaller amount of patterns. So Lydia Naomi, this is a button down empire line, so it sits kind of higher than the natural waist, button down collared dress, and you've got like gathers under the breasts here, and you've got this gorgeous kind of princess seamed skirt. It's stunning. It's perfect for summer. Like, it makes me want to buy a push bike and wear this dress and just, I don't know, cycle through a meadow or a field or something. So it's absolutely gorgeous. Again, same size range. It's EU 34 to 52. And I'm going to be showing my age here, but Does anybody remember the Darling Buds of May with Catherine Zeta-Jones way back before she was famous? It was like a BBC low budget sitcom, and yeah, I could just imagine her wearing a dress like this and like a floral number. So again, I think that the fashions are really going through that period of like that cycle at the moment, and we're seeing a lot of cool old styles kind of coming back around, which have then been updated, and it's really fun. I love it. I love to see it. So yes, if you're not familiar with that, give it a Google. It's very British. It's not great, but the clothes are pretty fun to look at. So yeah, that's where we'll leave it today. We've gone through a good handful. There's obviously a lot more on there. There's 36 patterns in total. If you would like to see, I don't know who is watching this, so do please leave a comment and either say something about yourself or whether you like the patterns. Are you going to make any of the patterns? What do you think of this new Know Me brand? I've tried to kind of capture a little bit of everybody in this video today, so I would really like to know your thoughts. Are there any men out there or people who would like to see the, again, inverted commas, menswear? Would you like a video on that? I'm presuming that the women's wear, or you know, these styles of clothes are going to be predominantly wanted by my audience, but again, I don't know much about all of you, so if you want to tell me anything about yourself, that would be great, or let me know what you think of the patterns, again, would be great, and what you think of these videos in general. I do appreciate all feedback and everyone that takes the time to message. I do very much appreciate that, and I'm very grateful. So I would like to wish you all a wonderful day, and we will see you soon. Thanks so much. Bye.